welcome to RC's Rail Fanning Productions. Today I bring you the latest purchase of my model railroad. This is Hoyle Creek in Titusville, M420W, number 3568. I purchased this locomotive about a week ago. Today is July 29th. That's the day I'm filming this video. I did two other reviews today on two other locomotives, both Atlases. You'll see those on the YouTube channel eventually, if they're not already up. But I've ran this locomotive just a little bit, and to say the least, it was worth every single penny. This set me back $359.99 or 95, sorry, and it's quite the price tag to pay. But it's a Rapido, so you know when you buy it, you're gonna get what you want. It's a very detailed model with excellent features on it, and I really like the new Hoyle Creek and Titusville paint scheme for this locomotive. So, alright, let's get into the details of this sucker. And we'll start off with the front for those details. As always, it came with a metal coupler, as all Rapidos do. We can see the snowplow here, very detailed. The curvature and such. The hoses as well, and the MU cables, all that fun stuff. Very well detailed. We can see the guardrails here, and some, again, just part of the paint job. We can see one thing that I don't like about it: flimsy plastic handrails. I've never been a fan of them. They always break. But, oh well. Still a very nice model regardless. Then we come down to the prototypical looking ditch lights. Both of those have a very strong LED headlight in them. And to say the least, I think they're brighter than the actual headlight. But very nicely done with the ditch lights. And to say the least, I'm impressed. Moving on, we can see the steps to climb up the locomotive here, and the grab irons on the side. We can see the headlight. It's always been off on 3568 because of the way the cab was designed. The headlight was more off to the engineer's side than the conductor's side. Or, yeah, off to the right side instead of being in the middle, as most locomotives have it. We can see here as well the Hoyle Creek and Titusville logo on the door there. Looks very nice. Moving up further, we can also see the Canadian cab with the 4 windows, and the wide cab, an interesting one. We can see that has very nice windshield wipers. It looks great. The number boards on this are also lit, and as well as the class lights. All 3 colors. There's green, yellow, or not, yeah, there's green, red, and white class lights for this locomotive. They work on both sides as well. It's fantastic. They look stellar, if you had to ask me. The number boards, again, they light up, and we can also see the bell here, prototypical to 3568, having it right in front of the cab window. And one fun fact about this locomotive is I have been in the cab of the real 3568. I have an old video. I don't know where it's at, but I know I have it. It was back in 2021. I did a full horn sequence with the horn and bell on 3568 while it was still running. I was down there for the final fall foliage excursion. The guys invited me up there, so it's a very nice locomotive, and the horn on it sounds fantastic as well. So that's the front of the locomotive. Let's move on to the side. But before we do our in-depth detail review, let's do a 360 of the whole loco. Coming off to the side, we can see the trucks on the bottom there. And if you look in there closely enough, you can see the chair with the conductor riding on the locomotive. You can see the nice OC&T logo below that, and the sun guards up here as well. We'll move along here. You can see the Oil Creek Titusville logo, the fuel cutoff switch. The whole diesel tank is very nicely detailed. We can see the sanders as well on both sides. Handrails, nicely done. Moving towards the back, the radiator. Very nice radiator on this locomotive. It's very prototypical, and the trucks look fantastic. And I also really like this little 3568 below it, the radiator on the top. I don't know why, I like that. So, side looks very nice, this model. Let's move to the back. From the back, we'll start from the bottom up, as we did with the front. Again, metal couplers here, kind of a snowplow-ish, very detailed, and of course the various hoses, MU cables, all that fun stuff. The real locomotive has rear ditch lights. The model does not, but oh well, what are you gonna do? You can see the handrails again here, and the ladder to climb up. The rear is very detailed as well, with the shape of it. And the M420 said a weird rear shape, as many Alcos do. And of course, the headlight looks very nice. It's not nearly as bright as the front headlight, however. That was one thing I was kind of surprised about, but oh well. And we have the 3 class lights here, and again, they all work. They all light up based on the function input. Alright, let's move to the top. Starting on the top of the locomotive, we can see the bell here once again. The bell on this locomotive doesn't sound quite like 3568's. I know that bell is slightly fouled on 3568, but that's what a standard MLW Alco bell would sound like for M420. Moving back, we can still see plenty of detail on the panels and such. Moving back a little further, we can see the K3L horn here, which all of the bells are facing forward. I believe they are. Check that. Yeah, all 3 bells face forward, as the prototype has. And behind that, kind of harder to see, the exhaust stack and the radiator on the rear, which again looks very detailed for the M420. So kudos to you, Rapido. Moving down to the trucks, we can see the detailed trucks with the sanders and the hoses and all that fun stuff that's in the trucks. I'm not going to get into detail on what all of that stuff quite is. And there is no bell on the bottom of this locomotive, as you can already tell. It's a Canadian cab, so it wouldn't have that. You can see the diesel tank. The sides are prototypical, and then we got the Rapido logo. Moving on, we have the other side truck, which looks just as good as the front of the locomotive. So, as I make most of my purchases, I can't just get one thing. You know, what's the point of just getting one thing? You know, even 2 things. Let's get 3 things. I found these 2 OC&T cars online on eBay for $20 each. I've been eyeing them down for quite some time now, but I just never coughed up the money to buy them. And I figured, hey, now that I bought 3568, let's buy some OC&T passenger cars as well. I'm not sure if these are brand new, because, I mean, they're an old company made them quite some time ago. But I don't know if they've ever been run before, but it doesn't matter to me. They run very nicely on my layout. We'll get into detail with those as well. I have to order some metal ones, but just for now I have some plastic. Couplers on the side, numbers here, all the stuff on the top's nicely detailed, the Oil Creek and Titusville on the side. Trucks look nice. Looks like a good passenger car, and then you can see there's seats inside as well. They're green. And then this car here is the Jonathan Watson car. And then the other one that I have pretty much looks the same, except it's the John W. Steele car. So I've got these two guys to match my 3568. So now that the review portion of the locomotive is done, let's take this guy over to the layout and we'll listen to some of its features and look at the lights and all that fun stuff. And then we're going to run some passenger excursions with our OC&T cars. Alright, so now we are on the layout, and I've got 3568 here. So let's go over some of the functions and what they do. I have on the owner's manual here a list of all the functions if you'd like to take a look at those. And I'm going to go in order off of my DCC controller, which I use through JMRI. So, let's get into it. Of course, F0 is always the front headlight. Check one thing here on it. Number 1 is the bell. Doesn't sound quite like 3568s, but it has the ting to it. You just listen to a comparison between the two. F2 is the horn. Three is the flanges squeal. Number 4 is the dynamic brake. Number 5 is the Doppler horn. And it'll keep repeating, which will be great for train shows. You can keep repeating the Doppler. 6 is the ditch lights. As you can see, they almost look like a real train from this from this camera. Number 7 is the headlight dimmer. Number 8 is the startup mode, which I won't do exactly right now. I'll just wait a few minutes. F9 is drive hold. And number 10 is the independent. May or may not go off, I'm not sure. There we go. Number 11 is the class lights, which, they're my thing, because they work on both sides of the locomotive. We have the green, the red, and the white. They work on both sides. Fancy. You can hear my dog barking in the background as well. We're getting a bit of a thunderstorm through Erie. 12 is switching mode. And what that does is it just dims the headlights. 13 is the rear headlight, because the rear headlight has a separate function. Unless you use number F15, which is model train mode. So if you're in the front, if you're going forward, front headlights on, rear, going backwards, you got the rear headlight. F14 is the radiator fan. F16 is the air compressor on the shutdown. F17 is the air compressor. F18 is the track inspection lights, which you Can't tell if they're on. They come on as defaults. Try to tell if they're on or not. I know they come on though as a default, the track inspection lights. 19 is the number board lights. It's just harder to see because I have all the lights pointed on it. And F20 is the air dryer. It's more of a simple decoder, at least for the functions list, but still very in detail as far as I'm concerned. So now that we've seen it, let's do a full startup procedure. And as I said, there is a separate control for the rear headlight. So I'll turn the front headlights and the ditch lights off. The dimmer works for the rear headlight as well. As you can see, the class lights work as well. Zoom in on those. My personal favorite are the green ones. Red coming in as a second. So now that I've shown the details of the locomotive, let's throw it on the layout and let's do some passenger runs with it.
equipment defect detector, milepost 97.1, track 1. Conrail, equipment defect detector, milepost 97.1, track 1. No defects. Repeat, no defects. Total axle count 1, 2. Temperature 6, 9. Have a safe day. Detector out. Equipment defect detector, milepost 97.1, track 1. No defects. Repeat, no defects. Total axle count 1, 2. Temperature 6, 8. Have a safe day. Detector out. Conrail, equipment defect detector, milepost 97.1, track 2. Conrail, equipment defect detector, milepost 97.1, track 2. No defects. Repeat, no defects. Total axle count 1, 2. Conrail, equipment defect detector, milepost 97.1, track 2. No defects. Repeat, no defects. Total axle count 1, 2. Have a safe day. Detector out. Conrail, equipment defect detector, milepost 97.1, track 2. No defects. Repeat, no defects. Total axle count 1, 2. Temperature 6, 8. Have a safe day. Detector out.